What are the rules of a special session? Previously, we've discussed why the governor might call legislators back to Austin for a special session. It's one way to make sure important bills that didn't get passed during a regular session have another chance to become law. But special sessions aren't exactly like a regular session, and the differences in the rules are important. The rules of regular sessions typically govern things like how long members can speak, what committees there will be, and in what order bills will be considered. These rules carry over into each special session unless the chamber votes to amend or suspend them. For example, usually both the House and the Senate will vote to suspend certain rules to fast-track consideration of bills. The biggest difference from a regular session is that both chambers can only take up what the governor puts on the call of the special session. The call is a specific list of items the governor permits the legislature to address, either by changing the law or proposing a constitutional amendment for voters to approve. Only the governor can create or add items to the call. The rules of the House will look virtually identical to the rules used during the regular session. Because special sessions can last for no more than 30 days, the most significant differences are related to certain deadlines. During the last 5 days of the special session, speeches on the floor are limited to 10 minutes and cannot be extended without unanimous consent of the body. With very limited exceptions, the House creates calendars, or lists of bills selected for consideration by the whole body on certain days. During special sessions, the calendar must be posted for 24 hours before the House can act on it. However, with a supermajority vote of the chamber, members can suspend those rules to take up a bill earlier. You may even see the House set what's called a special order, which is just a fancy term for a motion to skip the calendars committee process and set a specific date and time to consider one or more bills by the whole body. The Senate, on the other hand, will often look much different in a special session than it does during the regular session, even though the rules governing the chamber technically don't change. In the regular session, the Senate considers thousands of bills. As each one is voted out of committee, it's placed on a list called the regular order of business. If no one agrees to suspend the rules, the Senate would be required to take up each bill in order. But in practice, they never do. Instead, they vote to suspend the regular order of business every time they bring up a bill for debate, which requires a 5/9 majority vote of members present. That requires 18 votes to suspend the rules when all 31 members are on the floor. In a special session, though, only a handful of bills, and sometimes only a single bill, will even be voted out of committee at one time, in which case the Senate may simply follow the regular order of business. The practical effect is that it allows the body to pass a bill with only a majority vote because they don't need to suspend any rules, making it easier to pass legislation that may have been blocked during the regular session. And just like during a regular session, in the Senate, there are no time limits on speeches or questions for a bill author. Filibusters are rare in Texas, but they can happen if the body is approaching a constitutional deadline, such as the 30-day limit on a special session. These are technical but important differences governing how a special session would work. Since special sessions have a time limit, these rules are necessary to ensure the process is efficient and the legislature can get its work done.